Somebody. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyway, ooh, 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 ooh. Anyway, this is Astro Conversations, and tonight I'm going to be talking about part one of what the energy would be like if you are a Virgo or a Pisces. So, if you're a Pisces and a Virgo, and you guys are in a relationship right now together, or if you're looking to get in a relationship with a Virgo, I'm here to talk to you guys about that energy. Okay, well, let me go ahead and put the disclaimer. The disclaimer is I do keep it real on this channel. We're gonna play this game. Okay, but anyway, hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm just gonna keep it real. That's all I gotta say is that I'm gonna keep it real on this show. So, I just want you to be prepared, and that's just the way it is. Yeah. So yeah, so what else did I want to say? Yeah, yeah. So anyway, Pisces and Virgo. Yes. Okay, a few seconds. Mm-hmm. Mm, 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 mhm, mm, 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 mm. Anyway, so I couldn't really find any like popular people that you may recognize that was an actual Pisces and a Virgo. Um, so I'm going to show you images of people that you may recognize that is a celebrity that holds the same sign. So, and then also, as I was searching and looking for images and stuff like that, I was surprised. I was so shocked and surprised that once I pulled these people, these beautiful ladies, once I pulled their astrology chart, surprisingly, I saw some things that I'm going to point out to you tonight. So I'm not going to stay too long on this, but I am going to be talking about the energy of what it would be like to be in a relationship with a Pisces or be in a relationship with a Virgo. Now, for those who have been with me for a very long time, I'm above the mundane level of astrology. I'm above, putting everybody in a bucket and labeling just because Niecy Nash, who's on my screen right now, is a Pisces, does not mean that Tamar Braxton, who's also a Pisces, is the same. And I'm gonna tell you why. Tamar Braxton is a Pisces, but she's born in the month of March. So because I was talking to my Pisces friend today, and I was wishing and proud. I was like, damn, I wish we could have got this conversation recorded so other people could hear what we're saying about, what Pisces women go through and what it's like to be in relationships with different signs. So a lot of the things that she was saying today, I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to, you know, share it on this channel, because it may make sense to you. And again, if you're a Virgo who's dating a Pisces, and if you're a Pisces dating a Virgo and you're going through things, because I'm going to get to that too, it's probably going to make sense to you as to why you're going through things. So anyway, let me go back. So just because Tamar, once again, is a Pisces, and Niecy Nash is also a Pisces, doesn't mean that these two women are the same. Obviously, they're not. They were, raised in a different family. They're a different age. They hang around different people. So they have a different lifestyle. So, of course, just because you're a Pisces doesn't mean that all Pisces are the same, because I'm here to tell you that A lot of them are not. Okay, I've said it so many times here on this channel that I have a sister who is older than me. Her and I, we are born on the same day, same month, just many, many years apart. But, now that I see the symbol of the two fish, I so relate to that because even though my sister and I, we're like spiritual twins, we share the same month and day. We are total opposite. And people who know us would even say that, yeah, you're like, night and day. You guys are definitely not the same. We don't move the same. We don't think the same. We don't look at things the same. So it's like it's so different to the point that if you were to put my sister and I in like the same fish bowl, you could describe us as like the fighting fish. You know how you can't put two fighting fish together or else both of them will, cause their demise. That's how it is with my sister and I. We cannot be around each other for a long period of time because the energy is so different and it's not the same at all. And we're both Pisces. So I'm sharing that information with you because I want you to understand that I'm not going to put everybody in the same bucket. You know what I'm saying? And I go even deeper. Like when I look at somebody, you guys, I've already talked about this. I've already talked to different people on the channel who was, they asked me about their birthday and stuff like that. That is going to give me a good idea of what type of person you are just by me evaluating the birthday. So just because you're a Pisces, once again, doesn't mean that you guys are the same, but it would be very similar in certain instances if you're a Pisces. So there's some traits that Pisces women have as a collective that is pretty much the same for every Pisces. Then there's those Virgos that every Virgo is not the same. There's some Virgos that are extroverted. And like I was telling you before, there's some Virgos like Nas who I feel are introverted. So Papoose, he's also another Pisces. So, and I also wanted to point out to you too. So we have Papoose. He's born, I believe, in March. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't pull up his information, but I believe that Papoose is born in March. And I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna talk about the Pisces men. So we have Papoose, who's I believe is born in March. I know you guys have heard about Riza Islam. I just recently started listening to him. I had came across a few of his videos just recently. And I was looking at him and I was saying to myself, damn, this brother, he's kind of, he's sexy. You know what I mean? And I was, watching one of his interviews that he recently did on some radio show. And one of the things that pointed out to me is as he was talking, the radio show host was trying to pass him a drink. And he pretty much declined the drink. And then he also gave his reasons as to why he didn't want to drink. And he went into health reasons. And, as he broke it down so sophisticatedly, like a lot of Pisces men have the ability to do, you know what I mean? It was like, it just looked at, after he said what he said, it was a total turnoff as to why he wouldn't be interested in doing that. So, yeah, so anyway, so when he said that, that attracted me. And, just his whole demeanor, I feel is very attractive. He reminds me so much of a Pisces man. See, they have different kind of Pisces men. They have Pisces men like Riza Islam. This is a certain type of Pisces man. So they have these Pisces men out here who are polished. They walk around all day long like businessmen. They're sophisticated in their speech. They have the ability to make people like them and love them. They're very, very sexy and very, very passionate. And a lot of Pisces men are always on a go. See, I was just thinking to myself, within the zodiac, there's some zodiacs that represent animals. And there's some animals that people can capture and make them a pet and turn them into a house pet. And there's some animals that you can't do that. You can't sit down on your bed all day and pet a fish like you do a dog. So I say that to say this is that Pisces men are like that. You know what I mean? They may hang out with you a little bit and, try to get cozy and comfortable with you. But again, it's like a fish. You can have them in the tank and keep them entrapped. But if you take them out the tank, you can't pet them and groom them to be a baby. You can't do that with a fish. A fish is a type of energy that always wants to be on the go. They like different experiences. They like meeting different people, talking to a lot of different people, and they like moving around a lot. That's how fishes are. So Pisces men are like that. Pisces men are the type of man that they don't really like staying put, but they have the ability to do that if they find somebody that they really like and love. Pisces men like Pisces women, and this is something that I really, really want to talk to Pisces specifically too, not to anybody, not any other sign. I just want to tell Pisces this, and this is something that I was talking to my girlfriend about today, who's also a Pisces, and I said, you know what? Pisces people as a collective need to stop giving themselves up for a relationship. Stop putting your dreams and your career behind just to prove your love in a relationship. A lot of Pisces men and the Pisces women, they have, I don't know, a lot of them have this. I mean, with them, a lot of them may have this story of, how they were so in love with this person and they put their career and their dreams and everything that they should strive for, they put that behind and supported somebody else and lifted them up as they suppressed themselves down to prove their love. A lot of Pisces in a relationship do this. And this goes for the men and for the women. So what I wanted to say specifically to Pisces people, but I don't think as time goes on because energy changes. Every year is different. As we see the year of 2022 has been nothing but violence. We talked about this before. Nothing but violence, nothing but mayhem. It's a risky year. I'm sure that there's some more drama and some shit that's gonna give us a blast out of the year 2022 that is coming down the pipeline. So we still have a lot more to see that's gonna throw and blow us back. But I wanted just to tell Pisces that whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, stop giving so much up of yourself to prove your love to somebody else in a relationship. Because what will happen to Pisces? See, Pisces will do this and do it genuinely, but if the respect and the love is not reciprocated, what will happen is the Pisces will start to become resentful and bitter, and they will stay within the relationship, but the whole time they're unhappy and they're plotting and thinking of ways to escape the relationship. So like I said before, Pisces, they have the ability, if they find somebody that they love and they like a lot, that is the type of sign who will give up everything, even their dreams, their talents, their gifts, everything. They'll give it all up. They'll stop going to school. They'll get a job that's not, they could get a better job. They will sacrifice themselves. They will put themselves in danger. Pisces people will go all out for you. When they get in a relationship with somebody, they go all out for that person. And what tends to happen is when you go all out for, certain people, people, they take that as a weakness and they don't really respect it like that. They don't really respect it like that. So I say all that to say this is that, Papoose, he's, one of those Pisces guys that I described, that if they find somebody, they're going to be there for them 100%. They're not going to be a follow the leader and want to do what every man does and gets married. And in a few months, the ring starts to slip off. He forgot it. He can't work with it. It's too small. It doesn't match with his clothes. See, Pisces men, they're not like that. If a Pisces man marries you and he loves you deeply, that ring is not coming off, and there's no excuse. He's going to let everybody know that he's married and he's going to respect his marriage. Versus another sign that a Pisces woman or man may get with, you may find that you marry them and then immediately the ring is coming off, and then you're the only one wearing the ring in the marriage. Pisces women, I'm sure that they have a lot of stories like that, where they get married and they're the only ones wearing that ring in that marriage. And then the partner is not, because the excuse is they don't like jewelry. The kind of job that they have, they can't wear the ring. And Pisces women will wear that ring and proudly brag about, how she's married, there's no love like her. And sometimes Pisces women on the dark side could even taunt and make fun of other females that are not married and use that as an award or something to be proud of, that she's married and nobody else is married. But sometimes when a Pisces woman does that, this could be a jinx for the relationship, because you can almost bring like a jinx into your relationship, that this braggatation that you have about being married and how nobody has the love that you have, and how you have arrived in some way, sometimes that could come back to bite. So I noticed that a lot of people who are Pisces, who are married or in a relationship with a Virgo, this type of energy comes up with them. They may not see it. If it's a Pisces listening or a Virgo, they may not see it. But I'm sure that if you talk to other people who know about this Pisces and Virgo couple, they may say, you know what, you're right. You know what I mean? When the going was good with the Pisces and their Virgo and their relationship, that was something that they often did, was flash and brag and boast about how good their marriages, almost to a point where you're making other people feel bad that they're not in a relationship. So a lot of Pisces women, like Niecy Nash, had that same energy in which I described. I don't know if you guys have been following a lot of these celebrities like I have over the years. And I remember, when Niecy Nash was married to her very, very first husband. And that was around the time where I even started this channel, is when Nisha Nash was married to her very, very first husband. And I remember I had just started this channel, Astro Conversations. This was over a decade ago. And I remember that Niecy Nash had broke up with her husband. And that's when I started to get, involved into astrology. And I started looking at people's birthdays and stuff like that and putting two and two together, and strategically with a fine tooth comb, trying to understand the energies of these signs. So, shortly after Niecy Nash, who was very successful at that time, the relationship, from what I remember, with her first husband, it dwindled away. And sometimes that could happen when you're in a relationship with a Pisces and a Pisces starts to get bored with you. Um, or, and can I play my music in the background? Am I allowed to do that? Because I noticed that a lot of things that I did on this channel, other people like stealing my style, which is fine. But it's like, can I do that still? Am I allowed to do what I was doing before and saying the things that I was saying? And you know what? With that being said, you know what? I decided that I do love astrology. Astrology has helped me greatly. Um, I feel that astrology is has helped facilitate me to deal with a lot of different people that don't really know that I'm into astrology, that I deal with in the physical life. It helps me deal with them and their attitude due to the fact that I'm so deep and I know about these signs. So I say all of that to say this is that, this is something that I just like to do. You know what I mean? This is not a pimp thing where, I'm doing astrology because I'm trying to get people to like me and love me and pay me. None of that. I just genuinely like it. I think it's very helpful. I think that in some instances it answers a lot of questions that people spend thousands and thousands of dollars to go and see a therapist or a counselor. You're going to see a therapist and you're going to see a counselor because obviously you're feeling some type of way and you're trying to figure out why. And you're trying to basically unravel those feelings so you can get back to what it feels like to be normal again. Because when you get hooked up with the wrong type of energy and the wrong type of person, you can find that, if things are not right, at the end, that person can almost like turn your life inside out, upside down, and have you looking and feeling some type of way, which is not the same way you looked when you first got with this person. Now, I don't know if you guys know Khalees. Khalees, she was married to Nas. I think they were married. Yeah, I think they were married I think they were married. And I remember when Khalees and Nas had first got together, that was when she came up with the song, My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard. I think that's when he started liking her and they got together quickly. And I thought that they made a really good couple. I thought they complemented each other. Um, but as I looked and I looked up their mathematics, because again, at that time I was looking over these celebrities, but I never posted the stuff on my channel because, I was talking about so many other things, narcissism. I did the Gemini and the Pisces. So I had a lot of other things that I was talking about at that time. But at the same time, I remember I had looked up Nas, who I found out is a Virgo. And I had looked up to Khalees because I thought that they had a really good connection. I thought that, they kind of got hooked up kind of quick, and to me, when I looked at Nas and Khalees, it just seemed like Nas wasn't really his self. Like I could tell that as a Virgo, he didn't look like, you know, he was really into the relationship like that when I had first seen him. So as I dug deeper, I realized that Khalees, I believe, is a Leo. So when I had found that out, I was like, whoa, Virgo and Leo is a hit or miss, in my opinion, relationship. It's a thin line when a Virgo and a Leo gets together. It can either go a good way or a bad way. So when I found out about the sign of Khalees, I believe, who's a Leo, and Nas, who's a Virgo, I automatically said, I wonder how this is going to turn out. And shortly thereafter, we heard about, Nas cheating and, pretty much playing her. I remember a picture had came out where Nas pretty much was in a hotel with a whole bunch of, women. And this was the time when Khalees was pregnant. And all I could remember saying to myself is that I don't really think that Khalees is going to fall for this. I don't think that she's going to be forced to accept this type of behavior from Nas. So I was saying to myself, I really don't think that this is going to work out because I have a feeling that Khalees is not going to fall for the okey doke with a man forcing her to accept bad behavior because she loves him. So there's some signs out there of women that, you cheat on them, they're out. They're not going to negotiate with you. They're not going to forgive you. They're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You do them dirty and that's it. It's over. So Leo women, they tend to be like that. So when I found out that Khalees was a Leo, Nas was a Virgo, and he tried to pull that cheating stunt on her like so many Virgos do, where they're in a relationship with you, but then you hear through the grapevine that they're cheating on you and they want you to accept it. I just knew that Khalees, as a Leo type of woman, was not going to go for it. But at the same time, I knew that Khalees, like so many women who are in relationships with Virgos, that, it doesn't turn out the way that they anticipated it would turn out at the end. That sometimes the relationship of being in a relationship with a dark side Virgo, it can change you. It could change your personality. Um, you may find that you're not the same. You're not the same person after you date a Virgo. And I'll never forget, there was a lady I had met many, many, many years ago, and I'll never forget what she said. This lady was going through a hard time, and she was in school. She was trying to rebuild her life, and she was saying that how she just came out of a deep depression, and how, her depression was so bad, she almost didn't make it. And she said it wasn't anything physical, it was more of an emotional abuse, that she was in a relationship with this Virgo. And she told me that everybody that she knows who was in a relationship with a dark side Virgo, that once they came out of the relationship, they weren't the same. So she said that and left it as there, but I never really understood, at that time why she had said that until years down the line, where, I'm starting to see these patterns. So anyway, let me go ahead and just briefly read this. Hopefully, okay, good. Yeah, hopefully, things can be here. So anyway, Khalees, just gonna briefly read it. It says Khalees reveals that Nas allegedly abused her throughout their marriage. So it says here, in a new interview with Hollywood Unlocked, singer Khalees revealed for the first time publicly that she was abused by Nas during their 5-year marriage. Before alleging that Nas would instigate physical fights. So yeah, that's another thing. I want to stop right there. If you're a Pisces and if you're in a relationship with a Virgo, um, I would say that, it may not be like physical, like if you were a Pisces in a relationship with, say, with an Aries, that, the chances of you getting into a physical altercation with the Aries, if you're a Pisces, is like a 9 times out of 10, versus a Virgo, where it's probably the chances of them you having a physical fight, if you're a Pisces in a Virgo relationship, the chances of you having any type of physical altercation is kind of is low, minimum. I'm not saying that, because they do have dark side Virgos out there that are very dangerous and people sleep on them, and they don't think that, they will bring you the business and end your life and this, that, and the third. There's a lot of Virgos out there like that. So don't sleep on no Virgo. But overall, if it's a Pisces and a Virgo, they may say things and do things like cheat on you or disrespect you or throw you under the bus in front of other people, backstab you and do those things, um that will make you want to react and fight them. So I would say that a lot of the I'm sorry, a lot of the abuse will be more so emotional and subtle and passive aggressive if you're a Pisces in a relationship with a Virgo. So anyway, let me continue. So she said that Nas would instigate physical fights with her while blacked out from drinking. So remember, yeah, I'm so glad that she had brought that up, because I don't believe that dark side video is still up, but I have a dark side Virgo video on my channel. I believe it's private right now. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe, people had ear hustled on my channel, took shit that I had said, regurgitated it on their channel, said it so much that it seemed like they said it first. But from what I remember, when I go back in the days when I was posting my dark side videos that I did, I think maybe close to almost 10 years ago on this channel, on a channel that has always had the name Astro Conversations, never ever changed their name to any other name. I believe when I did post that channel on this channel, this again, the name being Astro Conversations, never having a name of, let's say, let me give you an example, never having the name, let's say, Vulture, having that name Vulture, and then all of a sudden you ear hustle and you listen to what somebody else is saying, you get privately jealous, and then all of a sudden your channel name is changed. That never happened here. Another thing too, which is weird to me, how do you have a channel name, your channel name is that name, but then your your video names is a different name that is close to I don't understand all of that. I don't understand all of that. I just want to bring that up. To me, that's weird. That's weird. But anyway, I just wanted to say this real quick. Let me go back. So, like I said, I posted those videos many years ago, and I believe those videos are private. But I believe that I was the only one on YouTube who ever said that about Virgos. And I believe that my dark side video is probably one of the hardest videos that you'll ever hear or come across. I haven't really heard of any dark side videos like the one that I made, which is probably in private and will probably stay in private unless I, move it to Patreon, which I'm thinking about doing. But Virgo is a passive aggressive sign that has a way of doing things habitually and consistently, but you really won't know about it until it's too late. And one of those things that I said about Virgo on the dark side, because not all Virgos are like this. There's some Virgos that's real health conscious. You know what I mean? They understand that beauty has to be built within and goes out. So they're very health conscious. But for the dark side Virgos, and this is something that I discovered, is that they like to drink a lot. And you won't really know that they're drinking because their perfected attitude, which I talked about in my dark side video, their perfected attitude has a way of hiding that dark trait. And the only way you're going to find out if a Virgo is drinking out of control, where now it's out of their hands. Because, see, the reason why Virgos, they start to drink is because Virgos, they like to perfect things. So, like for instance, if they have sex with you, it's gonna be good because they're doing it over and over again and they're trying to perfect that. Same thing with the drinking. Virgos, they will try to drink and drink and then perfect it to the way where they're drinking and you don't really know that they're drunk, but their perfected attitude has perfected the mask that they're able to hide that the fact that they have a drinking problem. So one of the now that we're on this as a Pisces, if you're a Pisces and you're in a relationship with a dark side Virgo and they're drinking, there's a good chance that you're going to start drinking because Pisces is a sign that it's like a chameleon. See, this is why Pisces has to be careful of the kind of partner they choose because Pisces has a way of blending and mixing so well together with other people, and especially in partnership, that if their partner is drinking, they're going to drink. If their partner is exercising, they're going to exercise. If their partner wants to read, they're going to want to read. So Pisces, especially if they're in a relationship with a Virgo, whatever that Virgo is doing, the Pisces will want to do it too. And vice versa, the Virgo will want to do what the Pisces is doing. But one of the bad traits that I notice is that when a Pisces is in a relationship with a Virgo and a Virgo has a drinking problem that doesn't come out until later on, they can get the Pisces addicted to drinking too. And then what will happen is The Pisces will start to drink, become addicted, and then the Virgo will turn around and try to diss the Pisces and call them an alcoholic, call them this, call them that, when all the while they're the ones who manipulated and encouraged the Pisces to drink. And I talked about that in a few shows that's private. I think I did it like last week or 2 weeks ago, and I was saying that there's a lot of people out there that have to be careful of people who do things like drinking and constantly smoking in front of you. They may not tell you that they want you to smoke and drink like they do, but they do it so much in front of you, it's like they want you to do it too. And when you do it too and you become addicted, then they turn around and they dish you. And I talked about energies like this out here in this world, that they have a way of doing that. So even though they know that you don't want to drink, they'll start drinking in front of you and making it seem like it's a good thing to do so you can do it too. So when Khalees had mentioned that Nas would instigate physical fights with her while blacked out from drinking, this is something else that a Pisces and a Virgo may experience in a relationship. So once again, if a Pisces is in a relationship with a Virgo, and both of them are not doing what they supposed to do, and I'm going to get into that probably part 2 or part 3, because I'm not going to stay too long on this. Drinking may be a problem within the relationship, and surprisingly, the Virgo may be drinking just as heavy as the Pisces. But I'm gonna tell you, the Virgo will be drinking because they're hiding things that they did behind the Pisces back. And the drinking for the Pisces would be because they're nervous and anxious and upset because of the things that the Virgo is doing behind their back. So this is how the drinking could happen in a relationship with these two signs. So let me continue. So it said, Khalees alluded to the abuse by saying that the rapper's infidelity was not why she chose to end the marriage. So let me tell you another thing that happens when a Pisces is in a relationship with a Virgo. When a Pisces is in a relationship with a Virgo, and I'm not talking about Jay Tucker, because I believe Jay Tucker, that Niecy Nash was married to, I believe he's a sun sign Cancer, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look it up. So he's not a Virgo, but I'm just giving you an example so you can look at something. But one of the things that a lot of, I'm telling you, if a Virgo, and let me go ahead and say this, out of 5 stars that I think that a Pisces would be good as far as like being in a relationship with a Virgo, I would give it, on some realistic shit, 4 stars. Why? Because a Virgo and a Pisces, that energy has the potential to last a very, very, very long time. Longer than relationships that they may find they've hooked up with other signs and they're not hanging out with the Virgo or the Pisces that long. So if a Pisces and a Virgo get together, there's a good chance that they're going to be together for a very long time. But will they stay together at the end is the big question. And I'm sorry to say, but Pisces, and again, it would have to be a Pisces to agree with me on this. But Pisces people, when they're in a relationship with signs, let me give an example. With signs like Virgo and Aries, Sagittarius, Aquarius. Yeah, those are the only signs that I can think of now. I'm not gonna go too deep. But usually when the relationship is over, it's because the Pisces person left the relationship. And when a Pisces and a Virgo is in a relationship together and they're at the point where both of them have decided that they no longer want to continue on with the relationship, there's a good chance that the Virgo is going to be okay with moving on. And the Pisces is definitely going to be okay with moving on. But the only difference is usually what happens is the Pisces, after getting out of a relationship with a Virgo, will find her or his self having to start all over from scratch again after getting out of a relationship with a Virgo or a Pisces. Another thing that I wanted to mention real quick, and again, I'm not going to stay on this too long, is that Pisces, when they get in a relationship with a Virgo, they have a bad habit. And I'm telling you, this is something I've seen from many different Pisces and Virgos that I've seen in a relationship. A few seconds, let me see what's going on. Is that again? Remember, I was telling you earlier about how when I had showed you the picture of Papoose, and I was saying that how Pisces, they have the ability to like give it all up and raise up. When a Pisces is in a relationship with somebody, that's what they'll do. They'll do everything in their power to raise you up, because they want you to be on a level where they know that you're secure and okay, so they can be okay. Because if you're suffering, they're going to suffer. So in order for them to not suffer, they'll raise you up. But see, Pisces, they have a bad habit doing this in relationship. Let's say, for example, if a Pisces, right, if they know how to do something, if you're in a relationship with a Pisces, they'll show you how to do that too. And what usually happens is that that could be the downfall for the Pisces, because showing somebody how to do something or introducing somebody to something, that same something, that person can use it as a backstab for you. So that's what I noticed that a lot of Pisces people, they do. Again, is that they give up their career, they minimize their career, they lower their levels, they compromise too much in a relationship to prove their love to the partner, who, if they're not careful, could turn around and backstab them and basically use that against them. So a few seconds. So yeah, and it's a shame because I can't. Let me see something. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to say, was that it's real deep. It's real deep. So let me go back to what Khalees was saying, being in a relationship. So okay, so she said by saying the rapper's infidelity was not why she chose to end the marriage, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. She explained, I didn't file for divorce because he cheated. He had been cheating for 2 years. See, that's another thing too. See, Virgo's on the dark side, especially if you're a Pisces and you're in a relationship with a Virgo, cheating can be a factor in the relationship. And the reason why that may come up is because Virgos, they're very critical. On the dark side, they like to criticize and they like to like bring you down and make you feel like you're not worthy enough. A Pisces may say while being in a relationship with a Virgo that a Virgo may bring up their exes, or they may bring up people online or other people that they know and like raise them up. You know what I mean? Or do it, like I said, in a passive aggressive way that they're not directly telling you that you're not as valuable as the other person, but just by them continuously talking and raising somebody up, will be like an affliction with being with a Virgo in a relationship if they're on the dark side. So again, these are things that a person may experience while being in a relationship. So if you're a Pisces and you're a Virgo, these are some of the types of energies and experiences that you may have while being in a relationship. So yes, it's a four-star relationship once you guys can overcome, these things. But it's hard if, if other factors are involved, like other people being in your business, the relationship being afflicted with the evil eye. You know what I'm saying? With you sacrificing. See, Pisces people have to stop sacrificing themselves so much. I know a lot of Pisces people, the sacrifice comes from them proving their love. You know what I mean? The sacrifice comes from showing that, they're willing to go all out and to give it all up just for the love. But again, Pisces people have to understand, yes, that's cute. Yes, that's nice. And yes, a lot of people may like that. And it may seem like the person appreciates that in the beginning. But I'm telling you, after a while, people will see that as weakness. They won't respect it. And it's showing that you don't really have a backbone when you're giving it all up like that. So these are the things that I've noticed that may go on in a relationship with a Pisces or a Virgo, or even if you're in a relationship with the opposite signs. You don't even have to be a Pisces or a Virgo. This is what you may experience just dating these signs. So let's continue. So she said he had been cheating for 2 years. See, that's another thing too. See, when people get in a relationship with a dark side Virgo, in the beginning they will wine and dine you. That's another thing I wanted to bring up too. People may find, no matter what sign you are, that if you date a Virgo, there's a good chance that you're going to be going to a lot of dinner dates. Like, you will get wined and dined by a Virgo. You will eat at some of the best restaurants dealing with a Virgo. You will wear some of the best threads by dealing with a Virgo. You will definitely be trained and programmed by a Virgo on how to carry yourself in a sophisticated way dealing with a Virgo. So when you're in a relationship with a Virgo, they're going to wine and dine you, and they're going to play the part of a passionate lover just so they can get you comfortable enough and settled enough in the relationship, where once they see that you've settled, your guards are down, and you're fully acclimated and integrated with them in a relationship, and they see that, you're all about them, this is when the good old cheating could come along. So you may find that, you've let your guard down, you were no longer rough with the Virgo, you know what I mean? And you decided that, you wanted to love and you want to be passionately involved in this Cinderella glass slipper love affair that, it's a woman's dream. You know what I was saying to myself? I said, you know what marriage is? To me, marriage is a woman's dream and a man's nightmare. And sometimes men that have the energy of a Virgo, they play it off in the beginning. They play it off. You know what I mean? They're so in love. You know what I mean? You get married, you get pregnant, you give up yourself, and you just dream that you're not going to be with no other man but this man. And then just when you get comfortable, just when you have the baby, just when, now you're in a situation where you're kind of stuck. Because, see, when you're first dating somebody and you don't have a child by them, you're not really stuck. But once you start having kids by somebody, trust me, you're not as fluid and flexible as you was in the beginning of that relationship when a child or children come into play. Because now you stay home with the kids and he's out and about flirting and dealing with other women. So people may find, especially a Pisces, they may find, and I'm telling you, if a Pisces has been in a relationship with a Virgo and they've been in it long enough, they're past the honeymoon stage. Because, see, when a Pisces and a Virgo gets together, The honeymoon. They have a long honeymoon. Some people, again, a Virgo may get with an Aries, and that honeymoon is for 5 minutes. That's how long it lasted. And then after, it's nothing but war and fighting and divorce court, child support, police, people getting arrested, domestic violence, somebody saying they abused. That's what a Virgo and an Aries, that's usually how it ends up. So usually a Virgo and an Aries, the passion and the honeymoon is only for 5 minutes. And then after that is nothing but war. But a Pisces and a Virgo is usually for a long time, the honeymoon. And the mask is on, the glasses are on, the fantasy is there. There's all this daydreaming, this la la feeling of utopia, feeling that you found the one, there's nobody else. You're worshiping the Virgo as a Pisces, worshiping the Virgo. And then once you get comfortable and cozied up, that's another thing I want to talk to about the Pisces and the Virgo. Another thing that I know, see, let me talk to you, Pisces. Pisces. And Pisces, again, Pisces is really, they not that type like that. They not that type. But again, Pisces is a sign of flexibility. It's a fish. It moves around. So it will adjust to you, whoever you are. It will adjust. So Pisces has the ability to adjust to whatever situation you're in. So if you're a loser, they will adjust to your losing lifestyle. If you don't have shit, they will adjust to not having shit. If you have whatever you're doing, the Pisces will adjust in a relationship. So when a Pisces is in a relationship and everything has been adjusted and programmed, this is when you're going to hear through the grapevine that your Virgo's cheating on you. And you're going to hear about it because you're going to see like text messages. All of a sudden, the phone has a lock on it. Um, you know, you're hearing it through the grapevine. And if you're a Pisces and you're in a relationship with a Virgo, you're gonna pick up on the vibe that something is not right. You're gonna pick up on that vibe. Virgo, on the other hand, they're so physical and they're all about details. They don't have the same vibe that Pisces have. So even though a Virgo may play it off or try to come around and give you the straight face, like they wasn't cheating or they're not talking to somebody behind your back, Pisces, they have a way of picking up on energy. You don't even got to say anything. Most Pisces, they could feel the vibe of other people and they may play it off. They may not say anything. They may laugh and they may joke, but they're going to start like keeping tabs on that shit. So if a Pisces and a Virgo's in a relationship and they feel like you're cheating on them, they're probably not going to say anything. They're just going to let shit add up. And that's how it is when you're in a relationship with a Pisces and you're a Virgo. Again, the relationship will last long. That's because the Pisces is tolerating a lot of stuff. They're tolerating a lot of stuff all the while they're losing themselves within a relationship and the relationship is bringing them down. But eventually, and this goes for any sign that a Pisces dates, and I'm sure a lot of Pisces people will agree, they may not say anything to you. They may not make it a big show, but you will start to see the attitude change. Whenever a Pisces is starting to change on you, you're going to see them suffering. And that's another thing too. If you're a Pisces, you've been in a relationship with a Virgo, you've went through a lot of bipolar situations. I noticed that if a Pisces is in a relationship with a Virgo and it's a toxic relationship, that the Pisces will be suffering from extreme bipolarism. and their attitude will often change. And they will be seen as a Jekyll and Hyde. And let me tell you something, when the Pisces is going through all of those different transitions, one day they're up, next day they're down, they're angry, they're confused, they're anxiety, depressed, crying, happy, this, that. When they're going through all of that in a relationship, that Virgo is not changing. They're steady on a path. They don't have no ups and downs like the Virgo, like the Pisces in the relationship. So that's what may happen with a Pisces who's in a relationship with a toxic Virgo, is that you may find that once the relationship starts to get toxic, that the Pisces person may be going through a lot of mood changes and different identities. And these are signs that there's something going on in the relationship, but the Pisces may not want to say anything. Again, because remember that fantasy and that honeymoon and all that bragging and putting people down about not having a man or a woman, all of that showing off of the ring and all that. See, once that energy changes and you start to get acclimated, cozy, and comfortable within the Virgo relationship, and then you're suffering silently, because that's usually what happens when the relationship starts to get bad. The suffering of silence happens within a Pisces and a Virgo's relationship. And then what will happen is that the Virgo will continue to cheat, have affairs, be talking to this person and that person, all the while the Pisces is suffering. Different from when, if a Virgo is in a relationship with another sign, it won't be a silent killer. It will be more gregarious and everybody will know about it. For example, again, Joe Buttons is a Virgo and I forgot her name, Sin. I think that's her name. She's a Libra. So when they were having problems, she was vocal about what happened. Versus if you're in a relationship with a Pisces and the marriage is over, nobody's going to really see it coming because the Pisces woman or man, they weren't really vocal about it. So when the breakup happens, when the divorce happens, everybody's thrown back and, they're surprised because they're like, wait a minute, I didn't really hear that much noise. I did see the Pisces though. They did recognize that the Pisces was going through a lot of changes. Another thing I noticed too, when a Pisces is in a relationship with a toxic person, again, they suffer greatly in silence. They suffer from depression, bipolarism, and they start to change too. Their looks start to change, their identity starts to change. I can give you an example. Where's Tay Tay? Yeah. Remember Tamar? Remember when Tamar was, going through her thing with Vince and stuff like that? I forgot why they said that she had cut her hair. But that's another sign that you could tell when a Pisces is going through something. Once they start changing their image drastically, that's when you know that there was a point where the Pisces may have hit rock bottom and their identity changed, the bipolarism, the up and down moods, the drinking, this and that. When all of it gets to that point, trust me, the Pisces is on their way out the door. But you're not going to really know until you get to that point. So yeah, it looks like I'm able to log into chat. So let me see if I can okay. Hey Nicole. So you said, "Oh yeah, remember Kevin Samuels?" Yes, Kevin Samuels, he's like Riza Islam. There is Pisces men, like I said, that dress and act like this. You know what I mean? Not all Pisces men are like this, but sometimes a Pisces man, they can come across like a Taurus or a Virgo because these types of Pisces men, you know what I mean? They're very physically fit. Let me tell you something. Pisces men, ladies. Pisces men. Okay. And I did a video. I think I have a few videos about some signs. of, I think I labeled it like Pisces and sex or something. I forgot how I named it, but I did a video about, how Pisces men are and what they like and stuff like that. And I remember when I had researched and I did that sign, I was like, wow, Pisces men, they're like Cancer men. You know what I mean? They're very passionate. For any ladies out there who ever dealt with a Pisces men sexually, I'm telling you, Pisces men, Cancer men, I would say Sagittarius. There's not that many men that know how to, put it down in the bed. But let me tell you some Pisces. Ooh, 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 ooh. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Pisces men, they know how to lay it down good in the bed. And they could be real passionate. And they know how to get you right in that bed. Okay? They know how to give you the passion and the love and the affection and all that. But Pisces men, they're not stable. They're very wishy washy. They're all over the place. They don't stay still. If you come across a Pisces man that is, polished like a Riza Islam or a Kevin Samuels, if you come across these types of Pisces men, they're not the family guy. If you're looking for a family guy like Papoose, this is a different side of a Pisces man. These types of Pisces guys right here, they're on the go. They're on the move. Okay. They're deep into psychology, deep into sociology. They're communicating with loads and lots of people from all walks of life. Extremely intelligent, extremely attractive. People love them, they like them, they show up sharp. So these types of men are not looking to settle down and be married and give up their livelihood for a woman. These are different type of Pisces men. So yeah, so Nicole, yeah, I can't believe you have mentioned Kevin Samuels. Isn't it crazy how life is? Because I mean, what Kevin Samuels, he died, poor thing, back in May of this year. And Kevin, he has so many people who loved him. He had 1 million subscribers, this, that, and the third. And he only just died a few months ago. But look how life is. Like there's no mention of Kevin Samuels. It's like he never even existed. This is how people are. They will forget about your ass. If you're not sitting up in people's face, they will quickly forget about you and move on to the next best hot thing. And this is what I'm saying. Like Pisces people, don't be so eager and so thirsty to give up yourself for other people. Because I'm telling you, once you're long gone and you're out of people's face, they will forget about you. And all those good things that you did for them, they won't even remember it. So it's funny that you mentioned Kevin Samuels because as you see, I have him on my screen. And as I was looking up, the different Pisces and Virgo, I thought about, oh, snap. Kevin Samuels, he has the same kind of energy like Riza Islam, but it's a shame because, you know, this dude went from 1 million plus subscribers, people watching him every day, showing up faithfully. And look what happened when he passed away. Nobody showed up for the funeral. Damn near nobody showed up for the funeral. So I mean, especially, his mother and stuff like that. That's different. But all those million subscribers, nobody was there for the funeral. They was talking about him like a dog. They had some people was saying good things. The other side, some people was talking about a dog. So this is what I'm saying. Like, Pisces people or anybody out there, I don't care what sign you are, don't be so eager to give up a lot of yourself for other people. Because I'm telling you, people have a way of when they don't need you anymore, you're going to be a thing of the past. It's like you never even existed. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Kevin Samuels, yes, he is a Pisces. He's one of those Pisces guys. He showed up sophisticatedly. He was deep into psychology. He mastered women. You know, some Pisces men, again, they know about people. Pisces is the sign that incorporates all the signs. So a Pisces, they could be a reflection. This is why it's very important for Pisces people to pick the right partner, because a Pisces, they can intertwine and become your actual mirror and show you yourself. So whatever you do, they'll do. And whatever you show them, they'll show you, and you may not like what you see. So this is why it's important for Pisces to deal with the proper people, whether that's a friend or if you're in a relationship. It's very important, for signs like Cancer too. Cancer has to be careful too who they connect with, because, especially Cancer people, because they easily get affected by other people's energy. So they shouldn't fuck with everybody. Just like Pisces people, even though they're able to intertwine very easily with other signs and adjust, they shouldn't do that either, because it affects them energetically. So, yeah, Tyra, so you said, I know a Virgo who's a secret alcoholic. Yeah. And I was surprised. I'm telling you, when I had discovered that about this sign, I was blown back, because that's something a lot of people don't know, is that they can be undercover, not always an alcoholic, but they may do something habitually that nobody knows about until they're doing it so much, until people are like, oh shit, I didn't know that. It doesn't even, like I said, it doesn't even have to be drinking. It could be them doing coke. You know what I mean? They could be doing drugs. They may be smoking, and you don't know. They have something going on with them that they're doing habitually that nobody knows about until, again, it's too late. And then that's when it's gotten out of hand, because Virgo is the type of sign that they like to master things. So they'll do it consistently until they perfect it and they've mastered it, and then they want to move on to something else. But when you're dealing with substances like, drugs and alcohol, again, this sign Virgo, they want to master it, but sometimes it can master them, and that's when it's gotten out of hand. So Glam Diva, you said facts. They are demons, and Glam Diva said trap you now. You are their prisoner. Yeah, sometimes in a relationship, you know, especially women, and I'll come back and talk about this on another, broadcast or whatever. But sometimes women, and this is what I tell my youth, like, I know we love these dudes, this, that, and the third, but sometimes don't, you know, don't trap yourself, because once you have these children and stuff like that, these dudes are out the door. They're not worried about childcare. You know what I mean? They're not worried about running out the door and making sure that the diaper bag has enough diapers, food, wipes. You know what I'm saying? They not worried about, the babysit. They not worried about none of that. When they get up, they get dressed, they smell good, and they walk out that door. And you're stuck with the bag. So, again, don't get so cozy and comfortable, because I'm telling you, once these people see that you've gotten cozied and comfortable, that's when you start to get played. You don't get played when you come up with strength. You get played when you cozy and you comfortable. Hey James, so you said what's up, Astro? I didn't know Kevin Samuels was a Pisces. Well, now you know. Yeah, so Kevin Samuels is a Pisces, and I was shocked to see that Riza Islam, he's a Pisces. Sometimes Pisces, they could fool you like that. Like sometimes again, they could show up in another sign and you're like, wow, I wouldn't even think that you're a Pisces. But once again, not all Pisces are the same, because I believe Riza Islam and Kevin Samuels, if I'm not mistaken, they're both born in the month of March. So, yes, they're a Pisces, but they have a lot of energy that is more so Aries. So, and I think I did mention before that, Pisces people who are born in the month of March, and I mean this in no disrespect, but they tend to be a little bit more meaner than the Pisces like Rihanna, who is born in the month of February. Because Pisces who are born in the month of February, they're more so like an Aquarius. So they come off a little softer, their approach is a little bit more softer. Um so they have a different energy. It's more so Aquarian like for the Pisces that are born in February versus the Pisces that are born in March. They're more Aries like, so they're more aggressive. Some would say that they're very mean and rude and outlandish. And a lot of people who are born in the month of March who are Pisces, a lot of people are surprised that they're a Pisces because their approach is so aggressive and so mean like that they would never think that they're a Pisces versus Rihanna, who I believe that Rihanna, if you I don't know Rihanna, but I believe that if you were to meet her, she's as sweet as you see her in the picture. You know what I mean? Saying I think she's a probably a sweet person. She's very soft and understanding and stuff like that. But again, with Rihanna being a Pisces, it's you have to be careful as a Pisces person who you connect in a relationship with, because again, this partner could either bring you up or bring you down. Okay. So yeah, let me go on. So you said James Malloy, I subscribe to his channel. He's solid. Rest in peace to him. Yeah, I still can't believe he's gone, man. It's crazy. He was just with us a couple of months ago. You know what I mean? He passed away in May. But, with so much going on in his life, you would think that he passed away at least a year ago. It's like people move on so quickly from people. I mean, goodness gracious, what May, so what June, July, August, September, October. Wow. So yeah, so what, around 6 months ago? I mean, to me, that's fairly new for people to just get over him like that. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show you in this life how people will do you and move on from you. And you've sacrificed yourself. You gave up so much of yourself to prove to people that you're a ride or die, that you love them, that you this, that you that. And then when they're done with you, you're the one who's gonna be out on your ass, not them. So you said, okay, so Glam Diva, so you said big cheater and charmer Pisces. Yeah, I heard I was talking to my friend the other day, and she said that she doesn't really like dealing with Pisces men because Pisces men, they're cheaters. They're just like Virgos, where and again, the cheating comes from the fact that they have too many friends of with the opposite sex. So like you could be dating a Pisces man and he's still like friends with his ex, or still, friends with his baby's mother. You know what I mean? And they're doing things like a couple, but he's telling you that, oh no, it's not like that. But the relationship that this Pisces man has with his exes, it's like a thin line. Like, if the ex wants to, give it up, that the relationship that they have is so cool and connected that you don't really feel that secure being in a relationship with a Pisces man. So this is some of the things that I heard from women who have dated Pisces men, is that they're cheaters, that they could be liars, they could be lazy, um they could be womanizers, and they can like use women and stuff like that from their manipulation. You know what I mean? Using them, conning them, and stuff like that. So, and another thing too, I heard that they can also be like abusive physically. So, and then I think I talked about that in my dark side videos, that, there's an element of extreme danger. I think I've mentioned this before, of dealing with a Pisces man, that, a woman, she could be physically abused, or even lose her life if you're dealing with a dark side Pisces. Because I think I mentioned before, like when a Pisces gets really, really mad, things start to build up, but they won't say anything. And you really won't know what's going on until it's like too late. So most of the time, a Pisces will end up leaving and you won't really know about it. Like you wouldn't really see it coming because the whole time they're playing it off, but at the same time, they're thinking of a way out of the relationship. So yeah, so Glam Diva, you said my ex is March 3rd, is a really sweet guy, Aquarius moon, but can be distant. Not a mean bone. We have known each other over 30 years. So yeah, that's good. And this is yeah, so this is another example, just what I was saying. Let me give you another example. Pisces men, and this goes for Pisces, period. Pisces have a lot of exes for some reason that they're still cool with. Like they could still call their ex and, talk to them and not feel no kind of resentment or anger. They're not feeling any kind of way. It just didn't work out. It's over for whatever reason. But they could still call their ex and they could still negotiate and maybe work things out versus an Aries who I've noticed that Aries people, they like to make enemies out of their exes even though they don't need to have bad blood there. I don't know, for some reason, like the Aries person on the dark side, they'll do something where the other person will be bitter with them, and they did that on purpose because they know that that's now their ex. And sometimes I believe that like Aries people on the dark side, they feel that an ex should be an enemy. Like every ex of theirs should be their enemy. Where it shouldn't really be like that. Pisces, on the other hand, and Cancer may go through that problem too. Like Cancers, their exes may be their enemy. Aries may have the same issue. Pisces, on the other hand, and Aquarius. So Pisces and Aquarius, I can't think of any other signs at this moment, but there it's different. It's a different energy. When you break up with them, it's there's still a cool factor there. There's still a little bit of love left. There's still a little tiny bit of sparkle of the other person feeling like, if they try hard enough, they can maybe reconnect back with this Pisces. So Pisces, they usually end up having a lot of exes that they're still cool with. So again, I'm glad you said that, Glam Diva, because again, that's just an example of a Pisces man, having exes that they're still cool with. Because again, the relationship eventually will dwindle down and it will be in a way where it's a subtle type of breakup. Like, like things have gotten to the point where you're realizing, the Pisces person is cool, you're cool, but maybe it's just best that you guys just go your separate ways. You know what I'm saying? So you can experience life. And this is what I was telling some other, young people, you know, I think that getting married in your 20s and even 30s to me is too young. This is just my opinion. Cuz I think it's too young because in life we should be able to, in a kosher type of way, not in a dirty way, sleeping with Tom, Dick and Harry. I'm not talking about that way. But in a kosher, organic, righteous type of way, I think that people in this life should experience a variety of different people to date before you walk down that aisle with somebody. And I think that the only way you're going to know is once you reach an age of maturity. And I think that an age of maturity, in my opinion, it starts at the age of 35 years old. I think a woman should have at least until the age of 35 years old to even think about marriage because at that time you're in high school, you've dated guys in high school, you're in college, you've dated guys in college, and then and you're out of college and now you got your little job or whatever, your career, and then you're dating and you're in your 20s and you're dating in your 30s, and I think once you start creeping to 35 and you've had those experiences with a variety of different people and you know what people are like and stuff like that, I think that's when that age is, to me, in my opinion. I think that's when that's a proper age for people to consider with a big C, consider getting married. And that consideration, I highly recommend, especially being into astrology. I say that consideration should be taken into the fact that, do you guys even match? Because just because you're attracted to somebody physically does not mean you emotionally will be attracted to that person on the long term level. On the long term level, it might not work out right because energetically, your signs don't even go together. And remember, like I said, I go deep into astrology. I don't just talk about your sun signs and just because you're a Pisces and just because the other guy is a Virgo, that the relationship is like 4.5 stars, that it's gonna work out. No, we have to go deeper. And that's when you do the compatibility, and that's when you're able to see his Venus. Because I think I mentioned this before. When you get connected to these men and you're into astrology, look and see what the sign is in Venus. Because if you're, let's just say for example, if you're with a Virgo, right? You're a Pisces and you're in a relationship with a Virgo and their Venus is in Leo, or if their Venus is in Aquarius, yes, you'll be with them for probably a long time within the relationship, because again, the Pisces will be taking and compromising a lot, and this is what's lengthening the relationship between them. But what you'll find is that eventually the Virgo, who has a sun sign Virgo, but his Venus is different, you may find that he becomes interested or may have affairs with people who have that particular sign in his Venus. Now, it's a shame. I would love yeah, I would love to leave my videos up and stuff like that on his channel, but what I found is that a lot of the stuff and even the words, like I've trust me, I've purposely have used words like intertwine. There was a Mars and Scorpio video that I made. I think it started with the letter C, that I purposely looked up that and I purposely used that word. There's a lot of words that, especially the energy, the pulling on the energy. There's a lot of things that I've said on his channel uniquely because I wanted to make sure that it was different and not the same thing that you're hearing from other channels. So I would love to leave my videos up, but honestly, it's not really a good idea for me because what I've noticed is that I can mention things on this channel and other people will take it and make it their own and say it so much that if somebody were to hear them saying it, they would think that I got it from them when there's a good chance that they got it from here. But see, I'm not going to get that credit because the channel is so small that nobody's really going to believe who said it first. So, you know, I say all that to say this is that this is the things that you may experience if you're in a relationship with the sign. So, again, women, if you want to see if the chances of your relationship lasting with a man that you love and you are interested in, just because your sun signs match, that doesn't mean anything. We have to look deeper. And some of the things that I look at when I deal with men, and I've dated men recently, one of the things that I look at is his Venus sign. Definitely his Mars. I look into that too to see what type of temperament he has. And then I also look at his moon to see how his mind operates and how he thinks and functions and what he's capable of doing. So women, when you're dating these men, it's not just about you having the same sign and just because you're a Pisces and he's a Virgo is going to automatically be a 4.5 star relationship. That doesn't mean that. You have to go a little bit deeper than that. Because again, you could be in a relationship with a Virgo, be married to them, and all of a sudden, 2 years into the marriage, like Khalees, infidelity is now a part of this game. Infidelity is a part of your marriage. So you're married, but now you're in a triangle because your partner basically forced you into that situation. Because when people get married, you stand there in front of the priest or pastor or whoever you guys stand in front of, and you do your vows. And I believe, if I'm not hearing wrong, that I believe that those vows include death do you part, being faithful, being there if you're sick or healthy, broke or not broke. I believe that's what that includes. But for some reason, when people get married, all that vow that they took, that oath that they took, that promise that they made, for some reason, I don't know, for some reason they're allowed to break the promise. They don't remember anything that they said. And you've married this person, and then a year into the marriage, this person is cheating. So now a lot of people find themselves, especially women, when they get married to playboys and they start to do this. They marry, the man is so in love, he got cozy and comfortable within the relationship. All of a sudden, now he's cheating. So now your back is against the wall, because now you're like, oh shit, okay, he's cheating. And okay, I should get a divorce, which I highly recommend. If there's anybody out there and you're getting played, I highly recommend to get the divorce, because there's a good chance that that's never going to stop. And once you accept somebody disrespecting you, usually it doesn't get better, it usually gets worse. And you know why it gets worse? Because they see that you fell for it. So in their minds, they're like, oh, okay, I played her, I played him, and they forgave me that quick, that easy. They'll do it again when an opportunity presents itself. And then again, you'll find out about it. And then again, you're crying, you're making up, you're in love again, you rekindle your flame. And then another situation happens a couple of more years in. And it's not going to stop, because you've already proved to that person, they already unconsciously programmed their minds that you accepted this behavior, and you're weak enough to accept more as it comes. So again, I highly recommend, if there's anybody out there, if you're getting played, if you're getting abused, I highly recommend to start making a way out of that situation, because 9 times out of 10, usually a zebra doesn't change their stripes. And there's a good chance that once a cheater, I know you've heard it all before, always a cheater. It's very rarely that a person who plays you, disrespects you, abuses you, it's very rare. It's a very rare thing that that person will never hit you again, never abuse you again, never call you names again, never bring you down again, never cheat on you again, never throw you under the bus again. So there's a good chance that once a person starts to do these things, you check it from the beginning, and you might have to check out the relationship from the beginning, because if you accept that, then they're going to see that as a sign that they could do it again. And you're going to forgive them again, they'll do it again. Forgive them again, do it again. Forgive them again. And you may find yourself going through this over and over again. And then you find yourself telling people, well, I've been married for 20 years. I've been married for 50 years. Yeah, you've been married for 50 years, but how many kids do you have, though? How many kids does he have? So you were married for 50 years, but he got about what, 17 kids within that marriage? So going around bragging and telling everybody that you've been married for 20 plus years, but he had like 2 or 3 affairs on you, or him. So was it really a marriage or what? Cuz to me that's not marriage. Somebody broke the oath, they broke their vows, And it's not a marriage. Once somebody goes and they step out on you and they broke the vow, it's over. It's over. But see, they don't want it to be over. When you're dating somebody and they're a narcissist, or you're dating somebody who wants their cake and they want to eat it too, their mindset is that they have the right to continue to date other people while they're with you. And if it doesn't work out, you're the backup plan. So they go on these dates, they enjoy life, they have a variety of all these different people. And if it doesn't work out, they don't really lose anything, because they don't lose you, but they lost the other person. It didn't work out. So what? They have you as a spare tire, a backup plan. So the winter months, we're approaching the winter months, they'll just get cozied up for the winter. And then when the summer comes, all of a sudden they're gone again. And then they'll cheat for the summer. Winter is here. All of a sudden they're back in the marriage. And then you might find yourself going through the cycle year after year after year after year. And then being that one who said I was married for 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus. Anyway, let me go back. So, it says when asked if that meant Nas would hit her, Khalees responded, "I've waited 9 years to say anything. I've never talked about this man ever. Did he hit me? Did I hit him back? I'm not afraid to throw a punch, but I wouldn't have started it. I'll participate in ending it," which I told you that's how Leo women, I believe, are. "But I wouldn't have started it." She's considering going public about the abuse when she saw photos of Rihanna's bruised face, which remember, Rihanna's a Pisces. When she saw Rihanna's bruised face after Chris Brown attacked her, at the time, Khalees says that she had visible injuries from Nas as well. I remember so clearly when the pictures came out with that whole thing that happened with her and Chris Brown. And the only way I can describe it was like a double dutch. Do I jump in? Do I say it? Because I had bruises all over my body at that time. I remember being in Atlanta sitting in the kitchen and I was like, do I? And I wasn't ready to walk. I just wasn't. And so I didn't say it. So anyway, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it says Khalees recalls that Nas acknowledged his abuse after seeing Rihanna's photos, seeing her the way she looked, and then looking at myself. I was embarrassed. Anyway, I don't know what happened. So anyway, so yeah, so Nas and Khalees. And like I said, in the beginning, Khalees, I believe that, after being in a relationship with Nas, it changed her. It changed her personality. I believe it changed how she looks at relationships. So I believe, sometimes again, you know, being in a relationship with, either or, whether it's a Pisces or a Virgo, if it's toxic, you may find that you have to rebuild again, especially, the Pisces. You will have to rebuild again, restart again, do things again. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Let me just read a few things and then I'll go ahead and end it. Let me go back real quick. So you said, yeah, my Pisces ex friends with everybody. I hate that. So you said that's why we can't be together, too friendly and weak. Yeah, the friendly and weak has to cut it. It has to stop. It has to stop. So anyway, so Glam Diva, you said if you're an ex, you did something for foul, so it's a wrap for you. Yeah, I don't burn bridges with innocent people. If you're a snake, you need the necessities. No need to be nice. Virgo men life multiple different lives. You can feel like he might be gay. You do know these kinds of men. You don't know these men. Nobody have time for that bullshit. Yeah. So, and I think that was another thing that I had mentioned in the Dark Side Virgo video, is that a lot of people may say that, Virgo men, for some reason, everybody seems to have that question in the back of their mind when they deal with a Virgo is, does he or she go both ways? Because I don't know, sometimes they give off an energy, especially the Virgo men that are feminine like. And if a Pisces is in a relationship with a Virgo, it could be like i- two women being in a relationship. Because what a Pisces woman will find in a relationship, being in a relationship with a Virgo, is that the Virgo wants to like outdo the Pisces. And it could become like a secret competition thing when a Pisces and a Virgo is in a relationship. So the Pisces may find that, over time that the Virgo is like trying to like minimize or down them in some way. And if a Pisces is in a relationship on a long term level, I'm not talking about just the early hookup. Because remember, when a Pisces and a Virgo gets together, in the beginning, they have a honeymoon going on and it lasts a very, very long time. And usually, the Pisces in the relationship is the one wearing the shades, and the Virgo is the one wearing the mask. So both of them are kind of blinded in a way of being in a relationship together. But usually the Virgo is the masses came off and they've totally revealed the type of person that they are. But due to the fact that the Pisces is so in love with being in love and so in love with the fantasy of the relationship, they may not see things for how they truly are. Another thing I want to mention, and I'm gonna get out of here. Another thing that I would say that when a Pisces and a Virgo gets together in the beginning, they're always together, always up under each other. Um, and this may come from, maybe something that the Virgo is giving off that, they want to be around the Pisces. But I believe that a lot of times when a Pisces and a Virgo is up under each other like that, like they're not giving each other space. When you're a Pisces and a Virgo in a relationship, you have to give each other space. You have to do your own thing. Let them go to their job and you go to their job. See, a lot of Pisces, they have a problem with trying to intertwine and mesh things and trying to become this one twin flame so badly that they will do things with the Virgo partner and not really give them space. Meaning you have to miss each other. Don't be so up under each other like that, because being up under somebody, and this is not, you don't even have to be a Pisces or a Virgo. This is what I found with human beings, period. Sometimes being up under somebody consistently every day, especially if you're in a marriage, if you're around this person every single day, you're never missing each other. If you guys don't emotionally connect together like that, then eventually that's how problems are going to start, because you're not giving each other any room to breathe. And sometimes a Virgo and a Pisces could be like that. When they first get together, they're not giving each other room to breathe. They're not giving each other enough space to miss each other. They're up under each other too tough. And see, after a while, the Virgo is going to either flip out on the Pisces and diss them, and then the Pisces is going to feel some type of way. And this is only going to come into play is because you guys are not giving each other space. You have to give each other space. Do your thing and they will do their thing. Don't do it together. And like I said before, Pisces has a bad habit doing this, of doing too much for the partner. You know what I'm saying? Pisces are the type of people, let's say if they have a job, like a Pisces will be in love with you so much that they hook you up with the job. And that would be a mistake, especially if you're a Pisces and you're a Virgo in a relationship. That would be a mistake, because what you'll find is that, yeah, you hook them up, you show them how to do the job, you train them well, and that same job will be the reason why they cheated on you, because maybe now that you've introduced them, and you've allowed them to work at your job, maybe, when it's their time to work and now they're cheating on you with somebody at the job, and that would be your fault because as a Pisces person is because you've intertwined too much of yourself with this person. So Pisces people, again, you have to be mindful of that. And a Virgo and a Pisces in a relationship, usually the Pisces is probably the one giving the Virgo lots of ideas and lots of creative things to get involved with because they want to build up their partner. But sometimes that build up can be a pushback and a push down for the Pisces or whomever in the relationship. So yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. I want to show you something real quick too. Niecy Nash, like I said, Niecy Nash is a Pisces, and again, Pisces. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it real. Pisces is this. I don't think Pisces. I don't really, to be honest with you, and I'm not dissing the Pisces out there. I just don't think that Pisces is a sign where it's gonna be like a long term thing because Pisces people, they get bored. They may not say it to you, but a Pisces person, sometimes they can mesh so deeply within the partnership that they've exhausted everything about you and there's really nothing else to discover about you. So that's when they'll become bored of the relationship and want out of the relationship. So you may find that you know, people like Niecy Nash, who's a Pisces, they get married. Niecy Nash, again, she was married to her first husband. She said it didn't work out. She wrote a book about it. I guess you could read the book and find out why it didn't work out with her first husband. But again, like I told you with Pisces, they're always friends with their ex, but she says she has a good relationship with the ex, this, that, and the third. And then, she got hooked up with Jay Tucker, which I don't know if you used to follow Niecy Nash. She had like a reality TV when she used to do like home makeovers. I think like Niecy Nash, she used to like renovate people's homes or something like that. And I remember I used to watch that show back in the days, and I remember how she was so in love with Jay Tucker. And I remember she was planning her wedding and she was stressed out. And they had such a loving relationship. I was shocked and surprised when I found that they got a divorce, and now Niecy Nash, she's married again. So this is, as far as I know, this is Niecy's third marriage. So she was married to her first husband, didn't work out. She was married to Jay Tucker, the love of her life. I didn't see that coming, but I guess for whatever reason, that didn't work out. And then again, I was blown back, and this is what happens with Pisces people is that again, people don't really see like the ending coming, but the Pisces knows that it's coming. But I was blown way out of the water. Um, when I found out that Niecy was no longer with Jay, that she was so in love with, and now, she's married to Jessica Betts. So now, again, it's the same thing because if you look at the wedding pictures with her and Jay, it was this, the same love and fantasy and never met a love like, this is the Pisces, this is their fantasy. They want to love like a fantasy, like a dream. But once the dream becomes a nightmare, the Pisces is gonna find a way out. And once again, I think I mentioned this before, when a Pisces is in a relationship with signs like an Aries, a Virgo, um, a Sagittarius, there's a good chance that the Pisces is going to be the one to leave that relationship. But again, the exes will be a friend of theirs that they're still cool with, putting doubt in the partner's mind that they're kind of like a little bit too cool with their exes, to the point where if the ex wants to rekindle the flame, that energy is still there because they're still cool with their ex, even though they have moved on with somebody else. So yeah, okay, so yeah, so I'm about to hurry up and get out of here. So let me just read real quick. So Glam Diva, you said you don't know these men, and then you said nobody have time for that bullshit. And Nicole, you said mutable signs, and you said wish I could see the beginning of your last live. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know which last live I did. I be doing a lot of lives, and I don't even know how many videos I got on this channel, but I got a whole lot. So I'll see if I can uncover that. But yeah, so go back real quick, and I'm about to get out of here, guys. It's getting late. Um, Remember I was telling you guys about 2 degrees in somebody's chart, and I was saying that how if you see 2 degrees in your chart, or if you see it in somebody else's chart, that is a sign that this person has some type of energy of fame, or a lot of people will know them. So again, I was shocked to see that Niecy Nash, again, she's a Pisces. Her birthday is February 23rd, 1970. So she's a February Pisces. So she's a different Pisces than Tamar, who Tamar is born March 17th, 1977. So Tamar is born in March. So Tamar is more like an Aries, versus Niecy Nash, who was born in February, is more like an Aquarius. So they're two different type of Pisces. So anyway, as I quickly I said, I was just going to pull it up real quick. I didn't really go too deep into it. But if you see here, you know Niecy Nash is famous. We all know about Niecy Nash. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody, okay? Or you can look her up on YouTube and Google her. She's a famous person. She's been in the game for a long time. But lo and behold, look what we see in Niecy Nash's chart. She has a moon in Libra at 2 degrees. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys. That, again, if you ever see this, things like this is an indication of some type of fame. I don't know why, but this is an energy that if a person has this in their chart, there's a good indication that a lot of people are going to know you, or you have the potential to be famous like a celebrity. So this is Niecy Nash's chart. um so going back to Tamar Braxton, who again is a Pisces, but she was born in March, so she's more of an Aries. She's more of an aggressive type of Pisces. So when I looked up Tamar's chart, who was born March 17th, 1977, lo and behold, look what she has. She has a moon in Pisces at 2 degrees. So the same thing with Niecy Nash. She had a moon in 2 degrees, and Tamar Braxton also has a moon in 2 degrees. So this is something I just wanted to show you guys. I thought it was very interesting that, I came across something like this. But again, it goes deeper. It goes deeper. I have a video that I made specifically for Tamar Braxton, which is Venus and Aries. I believe that video is still public. And I talked about, women who have Venus and Aries, how they usually are attracted to men who have big bellies. So if you're a West Indian, if you know anything, in the West Indian culture, they say that big belly men usually have money. Um, and a lot of, women who have Venus and Aries, for some reason or another, they may have dated or like men who have big bellies, like a bear belly. And I went into more details. I can't really think or remember right now, but Venus and Aries is Tay Tay. She has her sun in Pisces, moon in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, and Venus in Aries. So she has a lot of water in her chart. So I wouldn't be surprised if people say, she's bipolar. She does things without thinking about it. She's more active. Um, she has Mars in Aquarius, so that's a good indication that, she's probably dated a lot of people because of that Mars in Taurus. I mean, I'm sorry, that Mars in Aquarius, that Jupiter in Taurus. This is money right here. So lots of money, lots of wealth and stuff like that. Mercury in Pisces, colorful conversations. different. She's the type of person to have a variety of different topics. She's able to talk about different things, not be a one track. How you go to certain channels and they always talk about like the same fucking kind of thing, but they put a little bit here and there, but it's the same fucking kind of conversation. Mercury and Pisces people, they not like that. They're gonna give you a variety of different things to think about and talk about. Yeah, guys, so I'm gonna get out of here. Oh Lord have mercy. I didn't even see this, but look what she has. Saturn in Leo. And I think I made a video about Saturn and Leo. And I think even, my last live that I did, I was talking about the fact that if you know anybody who has Saturn in the seventh house or Saturn in Leo, there's a good indication that this person may have issues in love, issues in marriage. They may be attracted to people who are older than them and people that try to rule them and stuff like that. But anyway, this is part one of Pisces and Virgo. I think I've talked about a lot. Um, yeah. Yeah, I have a lot. There's this whole thing that I have fucking have here. But I'm just too tired to talk about it right now. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this. I'll leave this stuff for part two. I got a whole bunch of stuff here to talk about. So I'll leave it for part two. So yeah, guys, let me just go ahead and read the chat real quick. I'm gonna get out of here. Um so Nicole, you said the one from the last time you was live when you okay, yes, I'm gonna look into that. Probably dig it up. I'm probably gonna dig it up tomorrow because I have to go to bed. I didn't even eat yet and stuff like that. But anyway, and then you said, Nicole, you said what shows domestic violence in someone's chart besides Mars and Cancer? So yeah, it's just not Mars and Cancer that shows domestic violence. Um, it's deeper than that, and it's usually the degrees. And there's a certain degree that I see it as a pattern because I usually like to talk about things once I've seen that this is a pattern. And this is when I put two and two together and I'm like, okay, but there's a degree. And I'm not going to say the degree name because I don't want to scare anybody, but there's a degree number that I've seen as a pattern of, when people who unfortunately they lose their life, that I noticed that a lot of times these people end up like in a ditch and stuff like that. And there's a degree number that I noticed that in a lot of people who have that degree, I don't know why that is. It's just like a pattern. But yeah, domestic violence is deeper. It's deeper than just having a specific sign in Mars. Because you can have Mars in the best sign, Mars in Aquarius. You know what I'm saying? But according to the degree of that sign and the degree of your partner sign is where we could see the domestic violence. So yeah, it's much deeper than that. So yeah, so let's see. So you said, Nicole, you said Vince has a big belly. Yeah. So when I had saw that, and I think I mentioned that in my Venus and Aries, I don't know why that is. Like women with Venus and Aries, again, you may hear that a lot of them they date men with big bellies. So yeah, so Glam Diva, you said Niecy Nash used to come to my shop and get her hair done. She's not a nice person. Whoa. Okay, yeah. So sorry to hear about that. Um, and yeah, there is some Pisces people who are very mean and nasty. And I think I've told you guys before that I don't even deal with Pisces people like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm cool with them or whatever, but as far as like me hanging out with you, chilling, first of all, I don't do that with anybody these days. I have too much going on to do that anyway. But on some other shit, if I did have the time, like, and I do have a Pisces friend, but I deal with her every once in a while. You know what I mean? And if I call her every once in a while. If we hang out, it's every once in a while. But as far as me being chummy with another Pisces person, I myself don't even do that. So I feel you, Glam Diva. I feel you. So So Glandy, we said Rihanna has a Venus and Aries and Moon and Rising in Aries. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. The next time I come on, I'll check out Rihanna's thing. And then, just a few more and I'll get out of here. So you said Glamdy, you said I have a Mercury and Pisces, laugh out loud. And then you said thank you for your time and enjoy your videos. So thank you guys for meeting me tonight. Thank you for enjoying. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. And thank you. I love astrology, you know what I mean? On some fun shit and some discovery shit. So if you're a Virgo, if you're a Pisces, if you're dating a Pisces, if you're dating a Virgo, and none of this applies to you, I already told you why. And it's probably deeper than that. It's probably because your Venus matches with your other partner's Venus. So all of these things that I said, if you're once again, if you're a Venus and if you're a Pisces and you're dating a Virgo, none of the stuff that I said may apply to you. You know why? Because number one is for entertainment purposes. It's not written in stone. It's not the Bible. We're just having fun here. And secondly, it may be deeper than this. So again, I'm not the type to put just because you have the same sun sign as somebody, I'm definitely not the type to put you in the same bucket because we have to see where your moon sign is. Where's your Mars sign? Where's your Venus? And then we go even deeper and we want to see the degrees. And then we have to go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. Oh yeah, so I'm about to be done. Another thing I wanted to say real quick, and I'm gonna end it. Um, Somebody had tried to break down my elements, recently. So I just wanted to let you know that I kind of know about that. So I don't know if I'm supposed to play dumb, like I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I heard about it. So yeah, if that person is listening or whatever, I don't know what you're trying to figure out, but I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But just know that I know and it's kind of weird and stuff like that. But anyway, let me get out of here. And I thank you guys so much for joining me later.